Hello, and welcome. Welcome to another episode. Thanks, my executive producer, Melanie Delgado, just told me that everything is working. Hey, look, Nate Bowling. What's up, dude? The bird that sing beautiful. Hey, man, it's been a long time since I've seen you. How are you? You're quite the family man these days, yes? Thanks for tuning in, brother. I've got to come out there and see you. It's one of my favorite spots in the world, Ohio. Portsmouth, Ohio. Hey, there's my mom, Sherry. Hey, Sherry. Hey, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm MXD, Marc Delgado. This is it. Oh, that's my... Hold on a second. Hey, Siri, stop. Siri just turned on for some reason. I don't know what happened. Anyway, oh, you're waiting for me. I got to get out there, man. I was just wondering. I was just thinking about trying to plot some kind of tour out to Ohio. Ohio has always been very kind to me. All right. Hey, man, that's cool you're here. I'm going to, this is episode 11 of MXDTV. I've done 11 of these now, which is really cool. And I don't know. I have some stuff planned for tonight, so we'll just get into it. I'm going to turn that off, turn that upside down. All right, here we go. Start with a couple favorites of mine. I listen to the wind of my soul. Where I end up, well, I think only God really knows. I swam upon the setting sun, but never I never wanted water once. Never. I listen to my words, but they fall far below. I let the music take me where my heart wants to go. I swam upon the devil's lake, but never I never make the same mistakes, but never All right. Let's see. Peter's here. Hey, Peter. Yeah, I got the Martin out. It's good to see you, man. Thank you. And Eric, thank you. Thanks, you guys. All right. Well, we got a grim... No, that's not true. How many roads must a man walk down before they call him a man? And how many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? Yes, and how many times must a cannonball fly before they're forever banned? Well, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. And how many years must a mountain exist before it's washed to the sea? And how many years must some people exist before they're allowed to be free? Yes, and how many times must a man turn his head, pretend that he just doesn't see? Well, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many times must a man look up before he can see the sky? How many years must one man have before he can hear people cry? How many deaths will it take till we see too many people have died? Well, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Well, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. I did a yoga routine earlier this week. Hey, Danielle's here. She did those little yes. What are those? Grateful hands. And I can't see that because I'm blind, but it's like something blowing in the wind, possibly. Is that what it is? Anyway, welcome. Hi, Danielle. I've had a lot of coffee, so I'll be all over the map. But I did a yoga routine earlier this week. And, I hurt my foot a while back, and I got out of doing exercise, and so I'm slowly getting back into it. And I did a back to basics yoga routine with this yoga teacher I really like on this yoga website called Glow. And the guy I like is named Jason Crandall. He's a great yoga teacher, and he was talking about doing everything simple but really good. And then I was talking to and it made a lot of sense to me. I was thinking about that for everything. And then I was talking to my great friend, Justin Tracy. We were talking about song we were working on. And he was like, yeah, like Bob Dylan's Freewheelin' Bob Dylan record. And of course I've listened to it 100 times, but I went and started listening to it again. And I've played that song a different way for a really long time. And I was listening to the record, and I was just like, simple, really good, So I wanted to play that. But both of those songs have the wind in it. And I had a lot of conversations recently about some stuff. And those songs came up right away when I sat down to do the show tonight. So thought I'd play those first. And those got me in. I never know where I'm going to go. So I started with those songs, and they came out right away. So I just thought I'd play those. And then it led me to want to read you a couple poems by this guy named David Bottoms, who I've read to you before, and I'm going to read to you again right now. This book, I think, was the first book of poetry that I really dug. I've read some stuff from this before, and I'm going to do it again tonight. But this book I bought at the famous book stall in Fresno, California, that I talk about a lot, and this is the book. It's called Shooting Rats at the Bibb County Dump, and I found it in the poetry section. And prior to reading this book of poetry, I'd only known about, the poets that you always hear about, Robert Frost or Allen Ginsberg, or, Dylan Thomas, or the more famous William Blake, and this was the most contemporary thing I'd ever seen. It has like a cartoon cover, and it's got a great title. I love the title so much, and I thought this can't be I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a book of joke poetry, but it's not. It's a Southern writer, David Bottoms, and anyway, I'm going to read you a couple poems out of here. This was the one that I read first that really kind of blew my mind. And I might have read this one before, but I'm going to read it again. It's called Coasting Toward Midnight at the Southeastern Fair. It goes like this. Stomach in my throat, I dive on rails and rise like an astronaut. Orbit this track like Mercury sliding around a crystal ball. Below me, a galaxy of green and blue neon explodes from the Midway to Industrial Boulevard, and red taillights comet one after another down the interstate toward Atlanta. In the hot dog booth, the lions are sick of cotton candy. Along the Midway, Hercules feels the weight of his profession. Mother Dora sees no future in her business. The tattooed lady questions the reason behind each symbol drawn indelibly beneath her flesh. We all want to break our orbits, float like a satellite gone wild in space, run the risk of disintegration. We all want to take our lives in our own hands and hurl them out among the stars. Yeah, man, that last stanza always gets me, and I get a little choked up. It's so great, and that's how I think a lot of people feel. And I think today's theme maybe is ennui, existential despair. I was talking to my sister today, and my eldest sister, and I talked to my middle sister yesterday, and they both attended a wedding. Our cousin got married, and they went to the wedding, and I think it evoked a lot of emotions in them, and both of the conversations I had with them were so emotional. But we get stuck in our lives just doing the everyday thing and everyday things, and there's all this crazy stuff going on around us, and then we get stuck just doing routine. And I don't know about you, but I know for me, I get feeling like, what's the point? I start to feel like maybe I'm wasting my time. Often I am. Anyway, I'm going to read you this other poem of his. This one's a little bit longer, and it's pretty great, but it's got a couple little quotes at the top of it. But this one is called Speaking into Darkness. And then it's got a couple little quotes here. Oh, corpse to be. That one's from Galway Canal, and this one's from the great James Dickey, and it said, this night mortality wails out. And so this one is in sections, and it's called Speaking into Darkness. Section 1. First, it was the apple in Grandma's bowel. The way it grew to grapefruit size bulged beneath the hospital sheet like a giant rotten egg, flexed and swelled into death's pregnancy. It was also then my mother's face gone gaunt and pale, her brown eyes drowning in their sockets, Grandma in the box before the fireplace, the faces scattered around the flowered room, their assorted expressions, gestures, father flexing muscles in his jaw, and uncle rubbing hands through my blonde hair, and then the knowledge in everyone's head that somewhere in the hollows of the deep house, you sat alone in darkness behind a closed door. 2. Grandfather, later it was your own sickness, the way it shot up your right side like high voltage, burnt the muscles out of your arm and leg. It was the stroke therapy, the way mother massaged your muscles, the small rubber ball you carried in your right hand, the wheelchair, the cane. It was the failure of needles, tubes, scalpels, stethoscopes, electrocardiograms, all things that calculate precisely probabilities of survival. It was all the long days you both spent dying while medicine lost magic by degrees. It was the loss of magic itself. Faint eyes in the mirror ask the trouble. Oh, this is section 3, sorry. Faint eyes in the mirror ask the trouble. Sometimes it's dull fireworks, exploding like oatmeal across the July sky. Men walking like frogs on the face of the moon. Sometimes it's all the lusterless lights in Atlanta, the foul balls carried home from Atlanta Stadium, the splendorless ornaments in the Sears and Roebuck Christmas catalog. Sometimes these are no brighter than shadows melting into one night, no brighter than the grain of the door I have closed behind me, the room in which I sit alone tonight, studying the way my life has flexed and grown in the oval mirror on the wall, the texture and coloring of my beard, the hooked, bent nose, the muddy eyes probing the wrinkled flesh around their lids. Grandfather, tonight I want to be that face moving backwards into the mirror, want to shrink back up my mother's pink tube. 4. Eyes in the mirror say all systems shatter like dropped glass, collapse like the breasts of old women, mythologies peel away like layers of an onion. In a dream that recurs, Luke struggles in moonlight to roll away the stone. By torchlight, he unswaddles vital flesh, examines limp joints, feels blood drifting through veins. In his brain, he rolls knowledge like a dice in a cup, administers an herbal compound. Christ comes to Bethany in sunlight, weeps before the tomb with Martha and Mary, prays to God before a gallery of Jews. In his brain, he weighs combinations of ontology and odds, decides to gamble. With his whole voice, orders the stone be rolled away, commands Lazarus, come forth. 5. And now it's this lump stuck in my throat, like the apple Adam couldn't swallow. The apple Grandma couldn't digest. It's the disbelief in my wife's green eyes, the way she seldom speaks in future tense. It's this mirror, this door, this bed, this same darkness you closed around yourself that time you came to this room with the New Testament and held the book open all night in your hands. Grandfather, I am holding no true book. I have no orthodox dream. My head is a kaleidoscope of crossed images. A surgeon with a crown of thorns. New life from the Good Shepherd Hospital. And saying all this is pain. Like talking to your caught face hanging behind glass, to the cedar chest, the Venetian blinds, my own eyes in the mirror. Grandfather, I am holding nothing in my clenched hands. Speaking into darkness is the closest I can come to prayer. I always worry about doing longer poems like that, but that one Oh, hey, Lisa. Hey, good to see you. There's lots of poems tonight. That's the longest. That's the longest one. Hey, Lisa, thanks for joining us. Wow, I love this one. We are all connected, way more than I could. That's what you give. Thanks, Melanie. That's my wife. She's all right. Yeah, I love that poem. It's so heavy, it's so beautiful. And I think what's so great about it, it's cool to see your response, guys, because I think what's so great about those poems and what turned me on when I read those was that it's like, as my second real poetry teacher, Dwayne Rail, would have said, the language isn't highfalutin, it's language we can understand, but it's not, it's accessible in a real way, and it's so beautiful and poignant. I love how he uses Atlanta a lot in the poems. I find it really moving and real. It's so real. In bed the other night, my little girl, Mary, who's 5, asked me about death. She brought it up. I didn't bring it up. She did. She put it to me like this. She said, Papa, when I'm an old granny, you'll have passed away. Is that right? I told her, yeah, that's right. I don't have an answer. I don't think anybody does, I'm going to play some songs. I'll quit touching my nose here in a second. Anyway, thanks you guys for tuning in. I'm going to play some songs off of High in the Neon Dive tonight, which is my first record. We played this song last night at the Colony, and I really was digging it while we did it. So I'm going to I used to play this song all the time. I still do, I guess, but I'm going to play it again. Here we go. This is a good old regret number. The sailors came too late to celebrate. The mindset was it's always gonna be this way. To make up for lost time, they drank and drank and drank. Ambitious ships set sail and dashed their stupid dreams along the beach, dear Kate. Storyteller's face was flat and gray. The policeman said, take all of your hidden things and please just quietly go away. Prince the thief, the poet, he had to wait and wait and wait. Sometimes you just pretend and make defeat your friend. Won't you please, dear Kate? Major Tom was wrong, it's not lonely out in space. 'Cause when your friends are gone, you know that you're in a better place. 'Cause here we are right now to the end, dear Kate. Here we are right now till the end. St. George was waiting on a train. no one seemed to care that the hero had been slain. The beast that stole your love, he ate and ate and ate. Sometimes you just pretend and make defeat your friend. Oh, won't you please, dear Kate? Major Tom was wrong, it's not lonely out in space. 'Cause when your friends are gone, you know that you're in a better place. 'Cause here we are right now to the end, dear Kate. Here we are right now till the end. From ashes to ashes, funk to funky, we know Major Tom is a junkie, strung out in heaven's high, hidden in all time low. From ashes to ashes, funk to funky, we know Major Tom's a junkie, strung out in heaven's high, hidden in all time low. My mama said to get things done, you better not mess with Major Tom. My mama said to get things done, better not mess with Major Tom. My mama said to get things done, you better not mess with Major Tom. Lisa says hi, Melanie. Hey, Lisa, hi. Right back at you. I was going to play this song last night, and I didn't. We didn't. More and more, we're not really playing this song anymore with the band. Well, I'm going to play it now. It's the title of the song is Life, Friends is Boring. It's based on Dream Song number 14 by John Berryman. I wake up and I flip through the dream songs, and Henry drinks from a bottle that he can't name, he can't swallow. I face up to a new tomorrow, and Henry, he crosses a bridge that he can't name, and I can't follow, no. Women no phones, Mr. Bones. women, no phones, Mr. Bones. And hard on the land now is the sea, and empties the beds and eyes. You can try to slip your wrists, but your hands are tied. I wake up and I flip through the dream songs. And Henry, he jumps from a bridge that he can't name, and I can't follow, no, no. No women, no phones, Mr. Bones. No women, no phones, Mr. Bones. Hard on the land now is the sea, and empties the beds and eyes. You can try to slip your wrists, but your hands are tied. Your hands are tied. Your hands are tied. And life, friends, is boring. We must not say so. After all, the sky flashes and the great sea yearns. And we ourselves, we flash and we yearn. And moreover, my mother told me as a boy, ever to confess you're bored means you have no inner resources. Well, I confess now that I have no inner resources, 'cause I am heavy bored, 'cause people bore me. And literature bores me, especially great literature. And Henry bores me with his plights and gripes, as bad as Achilles, who loves people and valiant art, which fucking bores me. And the tranquil hills and gin look like a drag. And somehow a dog has taken himself and his tail considerably away into mountains or sea and sky, leaving behind me Wag. Hard on the land now is the sea, it empties the beds and eyes. You can try to slip your wrists, but your hands are tied. That whole song is based on that poem, Dream Song number 14. And Dream Song number 1, I have the book here. This book was all I read for a long time. This is called John Berryman, The Dream Songs. And there's a bunch of them in here. And 77. Dream songs. They're all the same form. They all look exactly like that. There's 77 of them. Or there's even more than that, but there's let's see, there's 385 of them. I'm going to read you number one. It goes like this. This is Dream Song number one. Oh, I can't do it without my glasses. Huffy Henry hid the day. Unappeasable Henry sulked. I see his point, a-trying to put things over. It was the thought that they thought they could do it made Henry wicked and away. But he should have come out and talked. All the world like a woolen lover once did seem on Henry's side. Then came a departure. Thereafter nothing fell out as it might or ought. I don't see how Henry, pried open for all the world to see, survived. What he has now to say is a long wonder the world can bear and be. Once in a sycamore I was glad all at the top, and I sang, hard on the land wears the strong sea, and empty grows every bed. You can see I copped those lines in the song. I'm also going to read Dream Song number 28, which is called, this one has a title, it's called Snowline. The interesting thing about all these, and what I was fascinated with, especially when I was younger, but and what that song is about, John Berryman couldn't get sober. He was a brilliant scholar and poet and teacher, and he was a raging alcoholic, and he couldn't get sober. And he eventually jumped off of a bridge. And I was just always fascinated by that. That's maybe the wrong word, but he just couldn't. I mean, I don't know what drives one to jump off of a bridge. That's extreme. I mean, I've felt like that. So, you know, this is a guy who just felt pretty deeply. This is called Snowline. It was wet and white and swift, and where I am, we don't know. It was dark, and then it isn't. I wish the barker would come. There seems to be to eat nothing. I am unusually tired. I'm alone, too. If only the strange one with so few legs would come, I'd say my prayers out of my mouth, as usual. Where are his notes I loved? There may be horribles, it's hard to tell. The barker nips me, but somehow I feel he too is on my side. I'm too alone. I see no end. If we could all run, even that would be better. I am hungry. The sun is not hot. It's not a good position I am in. If I had to do the whole thing over again, I wouldn't. You can see him reading some of these poems on YouTube, and I highly recommend it. I felt like there was more I was going to say, but I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say when I start reading those poems. I'm going to play a couple songs that I haven't played in a long time. When I lived in San Diego, I heard a headline. I was listening to news radio or talk radio or something. And they were talking, it was a local station, and they were talking about downtown San Diego, which is where I lived. And they were saying that there were the highest concentration of crime in downtown San Diego was on the corner of 16th and Imperial. And that's where all the homeless people hung out, and that's where people got high out on the street. And it was right next to Father Joe's homeless village. And I used to go down there and cop dope and speed and stuff, and hang out with those folks. And even after I got sober, I would go and sit in my car and like just see who was out there and see what was going on. It was a very wild place, and it was all just happening out on the street, and I thought it was really insane. So I wrote this song called 16th and Imperial, and it came out on the first record. Not really, I don't know. I don't really like it, but I'm going to try it anyway. And I still kind of like the words, but we wish you'd come, and we missed your call, and we waited here for you, but you didn't show, and your sister said it's time to go. She'd seen you with the white sheets on Market Street, with your brown bag can of beer, and watch their feet disappear. And Father Joe said, huddle here and exercise your demons. The theater crowd let out and tipped their nose at all the ghosts on Market Street. With your round bag can of beer, watch their feet on 16th and Imperial. What's the use of all the shit you try to do on 16th and Imperial? What's the use of all the shit you try to do? Market Street, with your round bag can of beer, watch their feet on 16th and Imperial. What's the use of all the shit you try to do on 16th and Imperial? What's the use of all the shit you try to do? You know, that's that sentiment I could certainly get behind back in those days. What's the use, you know? I think that's what leads one to perhaps jump off of a bridge. What's the use? It starts to feel like that, you know. I wrote that song when I was trying to get sober, and it just felt like there was no use. It's not a feeling I can access anymore. I never feel like that. I can be in the worst mood and I never feel like that anymore. But I know it exists, you know. I know it exists, and I know we have lots of people go through it. I know I did. And I know it can feel like that there's no point to things. It's not funny, but it's kind of funny, you know. Here's another song. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Danielle. Thank you. Yeah, you know, the version on the record, it's like this. I don't know what it is. I can't really get behind it, but I like playing it kind of like that. It's more fun. I'm gonna play this other song that was written for that record too, and it's the same sentiment, really, which is like this song is called Trials and Tribulations, and I haven't played this song in forever. And after I get done, you'll be like, never play that again. But it's the same sentiment, and I used to preface, I would say something like, I don't believe in anything. Everything, nothing means nothing. I don't know. So let's see if I can remember how it goes. There will be trials and tribulations. The hand that bites is the hand that feeds. And there will be useless information, 'cause I'm sure that's all you'll ever need. 3 feet from a ditch in West Virginia, the men that fight are the men that bleed. There will be hours of quiet desperation, 'cause I'm sure that's all you'll ever need. And hours that smolder and fade away from the compline, and the evening begins. Sisters and soldiers kneel, cathedral on a Saturday, the towers that they've made fade. There will be trials and tribulations. The hand that bites is the hand that feeds. There will be hours of quiet desperation. I'm sure that's exactly what you need. I'm sure that's all that you'll ever need. I'm sure that's all that you'll ever need. I'm sure that's all you'll ever need. I think it's pretty safe to say I don't feel like that. Either of those. I feel like that anymore. But the important thing is that people do feel like that. And it's not something that you can discount. Oh, hey, look, Joanne's here. Hey, Joanne, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, you guys, for tuning in. I'm going to read you now some other poems that were really important. This is all this stuff comes from from a certain period of my life, and it was all floating around in my head at the same time. I have this book here. This is another pivotal poetry book for me. this was around the same time as the David Bottom's book of poems. And this is called, there was two versions of this. There was two volumes. It's called Naked Poetry. And there was two of these. There was another whole nother volume, and it's a compilation of a bunch of contemporary poets. And I discovered a bunch of great poets in here that I loved. There's Kenneth Rexroth and Theodore Roethke and Kenneth Patchen, who catches a lot of hell, but I loved Kenneth Patchen for a long time. He's really weird. And Denise Levertoft's in here. But the one I'm going to read for you is a guy named Weldon Keys. There's this great picture of him. Weldon Keys was a Renaissance man, and he was like, he wrote poems and he painted and he made films, and he was a jazz pianist, and he was just an all-around really cool dude. And he wrote fiction. I have a book of his short stories, and he wrote a great novel called The Fall Quarter, which was really cool. Let's see, somebody. Yeah, I love Denise Levertoft. Great. I'll read the Olga poems maybe next time. Those are great. But the keeping with the jumping off of a bridge theme, Weldon Keys. Well, let's see. Todd's dad. Oh, really? That's amazing. Todd's dad did. That's amazing. You guys are both really smart. That's so cool. I love her poems. We'll get into those next. That's great. We'll get into those next. I remember Melanie and I sitting on the couch reading the Olga poems not too long ago, and we were just blown away. I love those. All right. What was I talking about? Oh, the jumping off a bridge theme. So the thing about Weldon Keys, he's there's a heart. Let's see, there's more. Oh, great. Okay, I believe I have them here too, though. But I might need more to do it properly. So that'd be great. Thank you. I know I keep touching my nose. I can't help it. All right. Weldon Keys, they don't know for sure if he jumped off a bridge, but the interesting thing is they found his car parked next to the Golden Gate Bridge with the keys locked inside, and he disappeared. And he writes about it. So they just assume that he did jump off of the Golden Gate Bridge. He has these two books. There's these two poems. I'm going to read three of his poems actually, but he had these poems called the Robinson poems, and they were about this character named Robinson. And I was obsessed with Robinson. I used to use that as a nickname, and then this, supposedly Robinson is his alter ego, much like in the Dream songs, Henry, even though Berryman denies it, is supposed to be his alter ego too. So I'm going to read you a couple of these Robinson poems, which used to blow my mind, and I loved them so much. This first one is called Aspects of Robinson. Robinson at cards at the Algonquin. A thin blue light comes down once more outside the blinds. Gray men in overcoats are ghosts blown past the door. The taxis streak the avenues with yellow, orange, and red. This is Grand Central, Mr. Robinson. Robinson on a roof above the heights. The boats mourn like the lost. Water is slate far down. Through sounds of ice cubes dropped in glass, an osteopath dressed for the links describes an old in-tourist tour. Here's where old Gibbons jumped from, Robinson. Robinson walking in the park, admiring the elephant. Robinson buying the Tribune. Robinson buying the Times. Robinson saying, hello, yes, this is Robinson. Sunday at 5? I'd love to. Pretty well. And you? Robinson alone at Longchamps, staring at the wall. Robinson afraid, drunk, sobbing, Robinson in bed with a Mrs. Morse. Robinson at home, decisions, Toynbee or Luminol. Where the sun shines, Robinson in flowered trunks, eyes toward the breakers. Where the night ends, Robinson in East Side bars. Robinson in Glen plaid jacket, Scotch grain shoes, black 4 in hand, and Oxford button down. The jeweled and silent watch that winds itself, the briefcase, covert topcoat, clothes for spring, all covering his sad and usual heart, dry as a winter leaf. Man, I love that one. I love that one. I wrote a short story once called I Knew Robinson, and I tried to write it. I tried to write this short story about him, and it was terrible, but I was just obsessed with these poems and with this writer. So the next one is simply called, let's see. Oh, okay, we did those. Okay, I thought it was new. Thank you, Joanne. So this other one is called simply Robinson. There's another one, I'm not going to read it, but it's called Relating to Robinson. But this one's just Robinson. It's pretty short. It goes like this. The dog stops barking after Robinson has gone. His act is over. The world is a gray world, not without violence, and he kicks under the grand piano, the nightmare chase well underway. The mirror from Mexico stuck to the wall reflects nothing at all. The glass is black. Robinson alone provides the image Robinsonian, which is all of the room. Walls, curtains, shelves, bed, the tinted photograph of Robinson's first wife, rugs, vases, panatellas, and a humidor. They would fill the room if Robinson came in. The pages in the books are blank. The books that Robinson has read, that is his favorite chair, or where the chair would be if Robinson were here. All day the phone rings. It could be Robinson calling. It never rings when he is here. Outside, white buildings, yellow in the sun. Outside, the birds circle continuously, where trees are actual and take no holiday. I love that. So I'm going to read one more of his poems. Actually, how are we doing on time? We're almost out of time, which is great. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to read this last Weldon Keys poem, because this is the one in all the poetry groups that I was in, everybody. This was the one in class and stuff. You would always get this. When you studied Weldon Keys, you would have to read this poem. It's called 1926. Many argue this is a perfect poem. They're probably not wrong. It's pretty cool. So we'll read it. 1926. The porch light coming on again, early November. The dead leaves raked in piles, the wicker swing creaking. Across the lots, a phonograph is playing Ja-Da. An orange moon. I see the lives of neighbors mapped and marred like all the wars ahead, and R, insane, B, with his throat cut, 15 years from now in Omaha. I did not know them then. My Airedale scratches at the door, and I am back from seeing Milton Sills and Doris Kenyon, 12 years old, the porch light coming on again. I'm 52. It's been a long way from where I started to here. And I've gone through so many changes. Some things still turn me on exactly the same. Well, maybe not exactly the same, but in a different way. All of these poems still turn me on in a very particular way, like they did when I was younger. They get to the heart of something, don't they? They do for me. I don't know. It kind of strips a lot of bullshit away from me. It feels like something real or something meaningful out of nothing, you know? My mom is gone. My dad is gone. The guy I used to run with, my best friend, gone. Not before we had a falling out, of course. We fell out long before he died, but he drowned in a hot tub. And I don't know. I want to try to play this song, I guess. This is going to be the last. Thanks for tuning in. I love this song. It's probably pretty cliche to play it, and I don't know. I'm just going to play it anyway. See what happens. So you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain, and you tell a green field from a cold steel rail, a smile from a veil. Do you think you can tell? They get you to trade heroes for ghosts, hard asses for trees, hot air to a cool breeze, cold comfort for change. Did you exchange a walk-on part in the war for a lead role in a cage? How I wish you were here, 'cause we're just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl, year after year, running over the same old ground. How we found the same old fears. Well, I wish you were here. All right, thanks for tuning in. Episode 11. It's a pleasure to share the evening with you. Thanks for taking time out of your life to listen to some poems and some songs and hang out with me. Somebody said something. Let's see. That's my wife. She's my biggest supporter. That's what we do, right? We support each other. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Love you, Melanie. Thanks, you guys. Love you all very much. If you're in the New York City area, and I'll be in New York City this Saturday playing at a place in Harlem called Silvana. I'll be there at 8 o'clock. Probably play for an hour. And so if you're around, come on out. Listen to some music. It's free. All you got to do is show up and hang out, and then maybe we'll go get pizza afterwards. Thanks, Joanne and Todd. Todd killed last night at the gig and at the Colony. He destroyed. He had him eating out of the palm of his hand. Is that a saying? I don't know. Todd, you were great last night, man. We had a pretty fun time. All right. That's it. Thank you. See you soon. Bye.